Last time he was here, we barely scratched the surface of tires.
That's right. There's so much to talk about. Now he's back to further our education.
Brian Grandstaff from Brian's Tire Factory and Auto Repair in Pocatello joins us again. And speaking of scratching the surface, we're literally scratching the surface of tires because we're going to talk a little bit about some all-weathers and some siping, which is scratching the surface.
Well, we want to talk about traction. All right.
Very important when it comes to driving.
Most tires today are all-season tires, and you want to get the tire that delivers the best traction and the longest wear. Maybe in some of the lower cost tires you don't get as many of these little grooves called sipes on them. You can see this center rib right here does not have anything in it. And on the more premium tire you have all these different little biting edges called sipes.
And that makes a big difference as far as its ability to hold on to the road?
Absolutely, it does. It increases its traction. The biting edges are the big thing. You want a lot of biting edges. It's the difference between a smooth leather tire or leather shoe and a tennis shoe that has biting edges.
I can see
makes all the difference. We can actually take a lower cost tire sometimes and take a machine and cut these sipes in them, and save a few dollars that way, but you still don't get the mileage out of the lower cost tire as you would the premium, but it does get better traction when you do that.
What's the difference on the miles between what you expect out of this tire and that tire?
The lower cost tires generally come in at 30 to 40,000 miles. The more premium tires are 60 to 80, even some as high as 100,000. But I've never seen a tire go 100,000 miles in Pocatello.
Yeah, we've got some awesome roads around town. And
that chip seal.
I was going to say, that does
it's like
not
driving
do good
on
things.
sandpaper.
That's right.
So, we talk about traction and keeping the traction the same front to rear on the tires or at all four corners. Whenever you're buying tires, you want to buy them either in pairs or four at a time. The reason being is it's twofold. It's either mechanical or traction again. Mechanical, if you have a four-wheel drive car, you have to keep the tire size the same at all four corners. If you have three that are worn out and you blow one and you decide to buy one, well, that's not good on the transmission or the differential.
So then on four-wheel drive, should you really buy them in a four-pair rather than like front and back?
If it is an all-wheel drive, all-wheel drive all the time, yes, they need to be very close, within about 15% of each other in size, for the transmission, the mechanics of the car to work properly.
So you're going to make your car or truck work harder if you don't do it that way.
It'll wear things out, might even break things. And the manufacturers want to keep the traction the same front to rear. If you have a front-wheel drive car, you might want to consider changing four, but you could change just two at a time. And the manufacturer of the automobile is going to tell you to put those two on the rear. You don't want to have more pulling power than turning power. Exactly. You want to be able to go around a corner without the rear end of the car spinning around on you. So these are all very important points when considering buying tires. If you look at the lower cost tires, you may want to ask, do you have the siping equipment to give the better traction type of thing? And then of course the more premium tires come with them on it.
So when you say all weather, we live in Idaho, all weathers, even the snow and ice?
All-weather tire is a tire that's stamped M&S, all right? It is capable of performance in all four seasons. No, they're not a snow tire. They're not a dedicated traction tire. There are tires out there, and we'll talk about that more in future shows, that deliver better tires on the snow and the ice. So better traction on the snow and the ice.
Just because it says all-weather, it's basically 3 out of 4.
Yeah, it might not be bad to think about snow tires come snow time.
Well, we live in snow country, so it does help to have the better traction, for sure.
I'm a big fan of studded snow tires. They got me through college in Utah.
So. Okay, well, Brian, thank you very much. If people have questions about, either siping or some all-weather tires, can they give you guys a call?
Call me anytime, 232-4586. I'd love to talk to anybody.
All right,
Great.
fantastic.
Thanks a lot, Brian.
My pleasure.